Good morning, seventh graders. This is Mrs. Oliver bringing you today's new lesson. Today we are going to talk about money. We are going to do finding our sales tax, tips for when you are giving gratitude to people at the restaurants or beauticians, barbers, just any service somebody gives that you might want to give them a tip. Markups, so your retail price instead of the wholesale price, and then our favorite of discounts, money you are saving on a total price. Right, so today's objective is that I will use percent proportions to solve real world problems. Right, situation that we will see is find 6% sales tax on a purchase of $115. The other reason why we want to use this is for when we're going to get to more percent applications, percent increase, decrease, percent bear. Something we already know how to use is proportions and using our cross products to set up a one-step equation to solve. Okay, so one way this could be said is just find 6% of 115. This is going in your books. This is our 2, 4, 5th notes. Okay. And then here's where you're going to glue it in after the percent proportions that we did last week on Friday. And then here's our notes. So make sure you have them ready to go. All right. So this is chapter 2, lesson 6 and 7 in your textbook if you feel like you need more examples to look at. Sales tax is a percent of purchase price and the amount is paid in addition to the purchase price. Now, something about sales tax is in each region it is different. Indiana's sales tax is different than Michigan's sales tax. So it's always good to know where you're at, how much is the actual sales tax going to be. And this is on any product other than certain type of foods that you get at the grocery normally do not have sales tax. Next one, a tip or gratuity is a small amount of money in return for service. Okay, the amount a store increases the price of item is called the markup. We pay the retail price that stores mark up so that they're making a profit from the item that they bought. Walmart doesn't make the products. They buy it from somebody else, and that's the wholesale price. Then they mark it up for the retail price, and that's what we pay. Total equals original plus a tip, tax, and markup. Okay, so we have to find what these are and add it to the original price that they give us. Okay, so we have a couple examples. A soccer ball is $17.75 plus 6%. Find the total cost. So we're using proportions. Okay, so we're going to have 6% equals over 100 equals, and then we have to put our part in our whole. So when you go through that, what was the original price? Well, the original price is what they gave us of our $17.75. Okay, we are finding the sales tax. So you can use a T, an S, X, Y, Z. T for tax makes sense to me. Then we have to do our cross products. Okay, so we know we have 100T equals, and we have to take our 6 times our 1775. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of my computation off to the side. 1775 times my 6. Okay, 6 times 5 is 30. 42 plus 3 is 45. Okay, again, 742 plus 4 is 46. And then 6 plus 4 is 10. And then we have to make 2 halves. 1, 2. Okay, so now we can go back to this, that 100T equals 106.50. So remember, it's the opposite of multiplying by 100, dividing by 100. And when you divide by 100, it makes it kind of nice because all we're doing is moving our decimals over. So T equals, and since we're working with money, okay, if I move this over, it's 1.065. We're working with money. That means we have to round to the nearest penny. So if I round to the nearest penny, this 5 is going to push this 6 up to a 7. So 107 is my tax. Okay, so we set up our proportion, we solved the proportion, and now we're going to add the tax to the original amount. The original amount was the 1775. We're going to add my 107 to it. Okay, remember decimals, you have to line them up when you're adding or subtracting. All right, 5 plus 7 is 12, and then we have 8, my decimal, an 8, and a 1. So that means that the cost with sales tax is 18.82 cents. All right, that was your first example. Okay, so the whole soccer ball with sales tax of a 6%. That's a pretty nice low sales tax. Indiana, I believe, is 8%. And so with taxes, you're paying 18.82. All right, a customer wants to leave a 15% tip on a bill for $18.50 at a restaurant. Find the cost of the bill. Now, gratuity, your tip, is normally between 15% and 20%. If somebody does a really good job, they always make sure you have your fresh dinner rolls, or you're always got your drink is always filled. You want to leave them with like a 20% tip if they were really super awesome. So the a little extra to know. All right, remember your tax goes on top, or not your tax. We're looking for the tax. That's our unknown. That's our part. Okay, we're looking for our part, and then we put the original on top because that's what it is out of 100%. So that's where my 1850 goes. So we're kind of always looking for the part, and with the way that this is worded. Okay, now you have to watch out. Sometimes if they're worded that they give you the tax and you've got to find the percent, then your variable is going to go somewhere different. Now do your cross products. Okay, so I have 100t equals, and then you're going to take 15 times 1850. Okay, so we'll take 1850 times 15. Oops. And remember, you do not need to line up your decimals when you're multiplying with them. Okay, so 5, 42, and 9. And then remember, when you go to your next place value, you got to add a 0, then multiply by 1. And so that makes it easy because it's 1 times anything is just that number. Make sure you're putting your numbers in a nice little rows. 5, 7, 17, and 2. And then I got to count how many times I moved my decimal. So my decimal goes right here. So 100t equals this 277 and 50 cents. Okay, opposite of multiplying by 100, divide by 100. Okay, so that means my decimal is going to actually go right here. So this is my hundredths place. I look at my 5 is 5 or higher, raise a score, so this 7 now becomes an 8. So tax equals $2.78. Got to do that rounding. So now we're going to add the tip and the original. I always put the larger amount on top, so I'm putting my original first. And then I'm going to add the tax to it because it's a smaller number. It's a part of it, so it should be a smaller number. If you're asked to find the tax of something and you get a number bigger than what you started with, there is a mistake. So your tax should only be a small part of it. 8 and then 12, decimal 11. So your total that you are leaving at the restaurant before you walk away to leave for the night is 21.28. All right, if you need to pause this so you get all your notes caught up, do so. Otherwise, we're moving on to the next page. All right, next up is talking about, discount. This is the amount by which the regular price of an item is reduced. Okay, so we have a sale price equals the original price, your regular price that they tell you, hey, this is what the original retail price was. Then you subtract how much your discount is. And then that's how much you're actually paying. Okay. All right, so find the price of a $59.50 racket that is on sale for 20% off the regular price. Okay, so that means we have to set this up. I am looking for my discount. How much am I saving on a racket that is originally $59.50? Okay, percent always over 100 because that's what they're out of. All right, so we set up our proportion. Perfect. Then we're going to do our cross products. So 100D equals, and then we got to take 20 times my 59.50. Okay, now if you're using Desmos for this, sorry, I already have my Desmos up. Hopefully, it'll let me. Nope, it's not letting me go back. Nope, it's not going to let me go back. Okay, well, I guess we will just skip showing the Desmos for this time around. All right, so take your 20 times your 59.50. Now, since I'm multiplying by 20, I'm just adding a 0 because that's all that's going to happen when I multiply by 0. Everything's going to be zeros. Then I'm going to multiply by 2. 2 times 0 is 0, 10, 19, and 10. Then you make your 2 hops. So 100D equals 1090. Okay, opposite multiplying by 100, divide by it. Notice I'm still showing that work. Okay, if you show your algebraic steps, we can help you figure out where a mistake was made, whether it was computation, did you divide and cross products the correct way. It's always important to show your work. Okay, so D equals, and I did my 2 hops for dividing by 100, $10.90. So you're going to save that off the original price for the tennis racket. So notice, instead of adding this time, we are going to subtract. And this way, you always have to put the higher number on top. So the 59.50 has to go on top, and then we're going to subtract the 10.90. Okay? 0 minus 0 is 0. I can't take a 9 away from 5. So I'm going to borrow from this one and bring a 10. So now this is 15. 15 minus 9 is 6. Decimal. 8 minus nothing is 8. 5 minus 1 is 4. So your total price that now you're paying before taxes or anything is the $48.60. All right. Guys, so we got some guided practice. All right. So the first two, they're just giving us a what is the tax. All right. So we have to pay attention. Remember, tax means add, discount, subtract. All right. So set up your proportions. We know we're going to need them each time. 6% is my tax, and that's what I'm looking for. Goes over 100, and my price for my shirt is the $22.95. Then do your cross products. 100T equals whatever 6 times $22.95 is. All right, and to save some time, I'm going to go ahead and whip that out onto the calculator. 6 times the 22.95, and if you already did it yourself, you can be self-checking your work. Okay, 137.70. Now, do I really need to put that zero? No, but because I'm in my mind, I'm thinking money, I always put 1 so it's at the nearest hundredth. All right, then we divide by 100, which means I make 2 more hops. Boop, boop. And then remember that rounding. Did you round correctly? 138 is your tax. So I have to add my tax to this amount right here. Okay, and that's a 1. So that makes a 13, a 13, 4, and 2. So the price for your shirt with tax is $24.33. All right, if you're feeling confident, go ahead and pause this. Do the next one on your own. You don't have to do it with me. You can do it and then check your work after. All right, the price of the jeans is $32.45. And I am looking for my discount. So that's why we know we're going to subtract from this amount. All right, so 100D equals whatever 30 times my 32.45 is. So 32.45 times 30. So 100D equals 973.50. Then, of course, you're going to divide by your 100. So those cancel. My discount is $9.74. So I can come over here and subtract that from it. And it's a 1. That becomes a 1, and that's 14.7. Can't take 9 away from 1, so I gotta do more borrowing. 11 minus 9 is 2, and you get a 2. So you save $9.74, and your total price for the jeans is $22.71. All right, now here's the price for your dinner. You're giving a 15% tip. That's another word for gratuity. So we're gonna add when we do this one. Set up your proportions. My percent is 15, always over 100. I am looking for my gratuity, my tip, which is $37.65 for the dinner. Do your cross products. All right, I got 100G. Always sounds like you got a lot of money. Times 15 times my 37.65. Okay, 37.65 times your 15. 100G equals 564.75. And of course you want to divide by 100 so that G gets canceled, or not G gets canceled, the 100 cancels and gets G by itself. So G, you're going to round. Is this 4 going to stay 4? Or is it going to go up? If I look at the number after it, it's a 7. So I'm leaving a $5.65 tip. So what is my total bill? I'm going to add it to my original. 10, 13, 12, 13. Oh, got my decimal. And 4. So your total amount spent for your dinner with tip is $43.30. All right, let's talk about the next one in the box. This one can be a challenge. Old Navy is having a store-wide sale of 30% off everything. Lily buys an outfit originally for $30.99 with a sales tax of 6%. what will her total cost be? Okay, so before you go up to the register and pay, you're getting a discount no matter what, 30% off. You do not pay tax on the discount amount. They take the discount off first, then they put the tax on. So the whole register machine does all that math for you. Well, sometimes power goes out and you have to do it on your own. I've worked in retail. You have to know how to find this in case power ever does go out. Okay, so the discount makes the cost go down, whereas the tax will make the cost go up. Okay, so we need to find how much are we going down and how much are we going up. So first we got to find our discount. Okay, so we have to set up our discount. How much is she saving? 30%. 100. This is your discount. And originally the outfit was $30.99. We have to do this first before we can do tax. Now take your cross products. I'll use a different color. We're going to have 100D. You can use a different letter than D. Equals, and then we got to take a 30 times our 30.99. Okay, so 30.99 times 30. So 100D equals 929.7. 5 by 100. Notice I'm still showing all my work, even though I'm using a calculator for computation. Still showing those algebra skills in case I make a mistake. All right, this is one where you're rounding to the nearest hundredth, but because I have to go up, I have to carry this over to the tenths. Okay, so it is $9.30 that you're saving. So we're going to subtract that because we're doing a discount and it's making it cheaper from original price. So 9, and then this becomes a 6, 2, 10, that's a 1 and a 2. Okay, we are using this price in our taxes now. This is what your 6% taxes is going to be applied to or added in addition to. So we set up our proportion this time. This is our whole, not the $30.99, because we saved 30% before we even got up to the register. All right, and how much was our sales tax? 6%. And that's always out of 100. Okay, so 100T equals the 6 times 2169. Now the next time you go out to dinner with your parents, you can tell them you can figure out how much tip to leave your waitress. Or how much you're going to save when you go shopping. There's an outfit you like, and be like, Mom, I know I'm already going to save $9.30 on this. Can I just go ahead and get it? Parents might be impressed that you can figure that out. But they say, oops, I lagged behind on me. All right, so 130 and 1400. But then we get to divide by 100. This time we're lucky. We don't have to round up because we have a 1, so it's going to stay 130. So our tax is $1.30. That's what we add to this. 9,922. So your total after discounts and tips is $22.99. Originally, your Lily's outfit was $30.99. So technically, she saved $8 with the taxes to add it on. Okay? All right. If you notice, the more expensive something is, the more the taxes are. All right? Because it's always 6% from the cost of the item. So the more expensive, the more you're gonna have to pay in taxes. All right, so let's look at our homework. You need to find the total cost to the nearest cent. Set up your proportions. You show your work that you can for your algebraic steps. So if you make a mistake, we can tell you. But like I said, if you want to use the calculator for your computation, that makes sense. All right, so we have tax, tips, and discounts. These two problems are sales tax, so you're going to add on these two. Whereas when we get to discounts, you're going to subtract. Then tips and other additions. That tells you right there what you're going to do. Mixed review. That means you're going to have to pay attention. Okay? If you have a late fee, that's extra money you have to pay. So that means you're going to add your late fee. Let's see what else. What is the sale price? If it says off, that's a key word for subtraction. If the sales tax, how much sales tax would you pay? Okay, now listen what this one says. How much sales tax? They just want to know only what is your tax equal. And the candy store of $5 is labeled 50%. What is the discount? Then it's a two question. What is the discount? What is the sale price? So you should be answering two questions, which you basically will when you do your cross products and solve it. Now, if you eat with 3 friends, how many people is there? Okay, so make sure when you're setting these up, you're reading the question. Then it says, how much does each person pay? Tyler went to the grocery store. All right, so that means these here, you're going to have to add them all up. You have to add up your 219, your 299, and your 457. You need to add those three. Then that goes in your proportion original price. Okay. Now look, it says discount, then tax. So that means you've got two that you're going to have to do. All right. Make sure you're paying. That's like the one that we did in our guided practice. Okay, so if you need to review how to do that, go ahead. All right, this one again, double practice. You're doing two things there. Same for number 14. You're saving 30% and you have a sales tax. Here you're doing both. So that means you're adding twice on those two. Okay, so those are some tips to help you with the homework. Okay, so then let's actually set one up here so that you have one to think about. All right, so we're going to have our proportions. I'm doing a 725 tax. And sometimes taxes are decimals. $39, and we are trying to find our tax rates. So 100T, and I don't use S because my S's look like fives, equals 39 times 725. And this is where the calculator can come in use. Still showing my work, but I'm using the calculator as a tool. Okay, so then 100T equals my 8275 divided by 100, divided by 100, T equals $2.83. So that means I'm taking my $39, adding my $2.83, and I get 83, 11. And always add your $sign to the beginning. And I highly suggest circling your answer since there's so much, especially when you get to the two-step problems, so that your teacher can clearly see what your answer is. Okay? We have, some of us have 90 students, some of us are up to 145. If we have to search for the answers, it's going to take forever to grade these. All right, have a great day, and if you have any questions, shoot your teacher an email.